Well, hello everybody. This is Susie with Healthy Expressions and Hope, and the past couple of videos I've done was basically just saying, okay, this is why we need nutrition. Tonight, what I want to do is kind of explain what the parts of our nutrition should be, and kind of give people a way to recognize what people are talking about when they say different terms having to do with nutrition. Because some people may hear the term, not completely understand it, and I'm just going to kind of give it to you in simple terms and tell you what each part does, but I'm going to keep it really kind of simple to understand and break it down really nice and easy for y'all. Okay, so nutrition has different aspects of it that kind of make up the whole group that gives us the nutrients that we need. So you have macronutrients, you have micronutrients, you have phytonutrients, and adaptogens. So macronutrients is our carbs, proteins, and fats, and included in that is fiber. And the micronutrients is vitamins and trace minerals. Then the phytonutrients, or also called phytochemicals, they help protect us from free radicals. So it's the parts of the plants that protect, that creates a barrier for cells and kind of acts the same way as it does for an actual plant. So when you have a plant that's growing, the free radicals tries to attack the plant, but it has that barrier. So it, hey Ashleen, so it protects that plant from getting damaged, so that what eats the plants, like humans and animals, can get its full benefit. So you also have the adaptogens, which help regulate immune and nervous systems. So I'm not going to go too much into the other parts of it tonight. I'm just going to focus on carbs, proteins, and fats because that's what most people focus in on. So on protein, it's actually like the second most abundant source of protein, or of energy, sorry. And it creates the base for your hair, your muscles, nails, tendons, and other parts of your body structures. So it also functions as enzymes, hormones, and makes up the biggest majority of the cell components. So, and you also have amino acids, which is the building blocks of proteins. So of the proteins, all the basis is the amino acids, which we all need. So whenever you eat too much protein, it stores as fat, just like carbs. And I really didn't realize that because I thought the more protein you ate, the more muscle you built. But you need protein to build muscle or to help protect your muscle, but you eat too much, then it turns to fat, just like you eat too much starchy potatoes and that kind of bread and that kind of stuff turns to fat. So it's recommended that you have 0.36 grams of protein per pound that you weigh, which that doesn't sound like a whole lot. So they gave it, there was an example, it's like 115 pounds, you need like 43 grams of protein. So then you have carbs, and everybody knows what carb is, right? It's simple and complex. Well, things like rice and pasta and breads are considered simple carbs because they break down into sugar really easily. They are burnt up faster. So carbs are your most abundant source of energy in your body because we have so much of it. We eat so much of it. And the food pyramid, if you look at it, the very bottom layer is the thickest, and that's what your foundation of your nutrients is supposed to be from, but they have it as carbs. We really don't need to eat a ton of carbs. So it's there to help burn energy and things like that. But it turns to sugar. It can turn to fat. It can damage our bodies in so many different ways. So complex carbohydrates, it breaks down very slowly, so it actually provides more fuel, a better source of fuel, even though it's still sugar-based. It does help control your blood sugar better. And the biggest, we also have dietary fiber. The complex carbohydrates are in fiber. So when you are eating foods that contain a lot of fiber, you're also getting that complex carb, which is really good because not only it's giving you the fiber that you need, it's also breaking it down into sugars very slowly. And fiber is actually, this was kind of an interesting fact. The fiber is plant-based, which most people might know that, some people don't. 35% of it is insoluble, 45% is water soluble. So like if you eat a vegetable that's high in fiber, you're going to get a lot of the water soluble fiber, which is a good thing. And then 2% of it is protein. I never realized that 2% of plants were made up of protein. I figured protein was animal until I started diving in and getting to know what parts of plants and animals contribute the most to our diets. Excuse me, just a second. My throat's been really itchy here lately. Okay, so then we have fats. So fats are the most concentrated source of our calories. It's our body's preferred energy source. So it really looks for the fat to turn into energy, to burn. But in most cases, we don't have a lot of it because we've been told not to eat a lot of it. But it's okay to eat higher amounts of healthy fats. You don't want the bad fats. And our healthy fats also have the omega-3 essential fatty acids in it. And that's really good because that gives us a protection from a lot of different diseases and stuff that we could get. Fats are an integral part of our body's cell structure. It protects our cells from getting damaged. And it's also the backbone of our hormones. So fats also help build those hormones. So if you're hormonally challenged, like I am, and I kind of like to say it that way, so I have low testosterone. So the fats also help to build those hormones back up. So if we don't eat a lot of fats, we don't get those hormones built up. And other things, the other hormones other than testosterone, estrogen, progesterone is like thyroid hormone and some others that actually have to stay in sync to make our body work good. So I've touched on omega fatty acids a little bit. So we have two essential fatty acids, which is omega-3 and omega-6. Omega-3 is the good fatty acid. We want to have more of that than we want omega-6s. So if we are insufficient in omega-3, it can lead to over 50 different health conditions. Some of those being silly things like acne or asthma, which some people have, some people don't. It's not that serious, but it can be. Diabetes and hypertension. Then we have things like allergies, Alzheimer's disease, breast cancer, and quite a few other things like psoriasis, Reye syndrome, rheumatoid arthritis, schizophrenia, and the list goes on. I mean, there's several different, types of health conditions that just because we don't have enough of our essential fatty acids. Then if you're deficient in it, like if you totally don't have enough at all, then arthritis, constipation, depression, dry skin, fatigue, forgetfulness, high blood pressure, indigestion, gas, lack of endurance or motivation. I know I've got some of those on that list, and I know several people have several of those on that list. Part of fats also is cholesterol, which can be good and bad. Cholesterol is the starting point of where our hormones are built. So, also fats also regulates our normal metabolism. So you see how these all, the carbs, the proteins, and the fats all work together. We need to have like the balance of these three so that we can have optimal health and optimal hormone balance as well. I started looking into these more and getting more interested in it as I started my journey, and then especially when when I knew I was hormonally challenged with low testosterone, I didn't know the best way to try to get that back, because I figured most people, if you got low hormones, you take a hormone replacement to help balance those. But you can actually do it through your food, and it's not really as hard as what you think it is. It just takes some practice and knowing what your percentages are, so that you can have your optimal health back. And I've been doing that here lately, and I've actually been starting to feel a little bit better, minus the scratchy throat because of storms being in the area and sleeping with windows open when we didn't have electricity. But that's just a little added bonus. Everything that I've learned through nutrition has gave me a better understanding of what I should have known whenever I was younger, and when my kids were younger, to have them help to build them a healthy basis for their nutrition. Because we always think that we have it figured out because what mom gave us, what grandma gave us, had to be nutritious, right? Yeah, well, those little things called comfort foods, maybe not so healthy, maybe just loaded with the carbs so that we feel happy at the moment, gives us that happy feeling, but then it's not so happy when it starts attacking our hips and our waistline, and then we wonder, how do we get this off? I have to go to the gym for 2 hours. No, not really. You just have to kind of tweak your nutrition a little bit more. So that's what I have for tonight, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below and ask anything you want. I will be doing a video later on, probably next week, to answer any questions that anybody has. And if, like I said, drop me a comment, leave me a question, and I will talk to you later. Bye.